Welcome to Reading the Green, our golf and fantasy sports show. My name is Mike with Jordan and Kyle on Tuesday, May 7th. This is episode 109, the Wells Fargo preview with a recap of the CJ Cup. Welcome to the pod, guys. Kyle, I'm going to kick it over to you. What intro? What's going on?
We have Jordan.
My voice is back.
Land breaking.
We have Jordan for what? 5 minutes, 6 minutes?
30 minutes.
Yeah. How long?
30 minutes.
Jordan, where are you gonna go in 30 minutes?
I have a pickleball date.
Pickleball date.
Yeah.
Where you got a pickleball shirt on? So, let me get this straight. Now, first of all, this is coming from someone that has enjoyed recreational pickleball on vacation. You're at the resort, maybe you're at the club, whatever. I enjoy it. It's really fun. But this whole pickleball shirt, you got, I frequent the Nike app. You got pickleball shoes. There's no difference between this stuff and tennis stuff.
Correct.
Okay, so we just found an entire new category of apparel that's just tennis apparel, but we can sell twice as much of it for pickleball.
Yes, because more people now probably play pickleball than tennis.
I wish Mr. Chuck Hughes, my PE teacher when I was a sophomore in high school, that had us play pickleball as part of PE. He just was a visionary. He saw where all this is going.
Him and Carl Schwankel, my 10th grade PE teacher. Yeah, it was made a resurgence. Good for you, Jordan. It sounds like you were a regular. I didn't actually know this.
I am every week,
That's
at least once a week since mid-December, and we usually go 2 hours. So it's like it's a workout. It's like my Apple Watch says like 900 calories burned in 2 hours. I hate working out. I don't know if we've ever talked about that.
I didn't know that you ever did working out. So
exactly, because I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go sit in a little room and just ride a bike or do a treadmill. I need a little competition, and I'm too old for basketball, any of those other sports. So pickleball, perfect.
So our PE class back then, you know what it was called? Because we had 3 different PE periods we could pick a class from, but that was individual and dual activities. Pickleball was part of that. So Jordan likes his individual and dual activities.
I like life sports. Sports you can play your entire life, like darts and bowling and skee ball, golf and pickleball. There, I'm set.
That's quite the group right there. I am a little jealous. Like pickleball is really fun, but it's
we get super committed. I go with friend of the pod, Tony Ness, also.
Okay. He's been on the show, Gambling Degenerate Extraordinaire.
Yeah.
So what are you guys playing for tonight? Like a grand?
He plays pickleball like he gambles. Hard and fast.
Well, good luck tonight. I hope this isn't like 2 weeks ago. We're talking about a shoulder injury that might set you back for the golf season.
Other shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, I've continued playing the entire time. And Kyle, to answer your question,
text later. Yeah, we better not get a text later of injury.
No, we do gamble, but we do a round robin, and whoever wins the most games in the round robin gets free pickleball for the night.
1-on-1. You play singles.
No, we doubles, but we rotate the teams.
Last question. I've seen you play a lot of weird sports. You're very good. You got a real natural ability. What's your shot in pickleball? Like, if you got a go-to shot?
I'm a touch guy.
Okay.
I can dink it. I can dink it very well. Nice. I got soft hands, Mike.
Doesn't surprise me. All right. Well, let's talk a little golf here, because pickleball is a little bit too much fun. But before we do that, I'm gonna show off my beer. Nothing too crazy tonight. A little Blackstack Local 755. Azaka, Citra, and Amarillo hops, Blackstack's flagship IPA, and it is pretty good.
I have a Foggy bottom from Luce line.
Oh.
Foggy Bun. I like that. Loose line, underrated.
I haven't been to the liquor store in a while, so I'm still drinking the last of this is my last Radiant Haze. It's been what, 2 or 3 podcasts that I've had this.
So over 2 months when Jordan's actually been here, it's been the same beer.
Well, we gotta get together and we can drink those burials.
Yes, please. Yes. Well, and speaking of, we'll be down now that I know that I can get it in Pinehurst, North Carolina, in the surrounding area. That'll be a stop on the way into town for the U.S. Open. But well, maybe next week we'll do a little more U.S. Open previewing. But we got a quick recap of the CJ Cup. Now the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, and I had a couple of thoughts. So first of all, we get Taylor Pendrith getting his first PGA Tour win. He's been close before. He's had a couple of Sunday collapses. We know that he typically reps the team no putt flag, hits it a mile, can't putt. Kyle, I don't know if you watched any of Sunday, but he made a couple of par saves down the stretch that absolutely kept him in it when Ben Coles was making clutch birdies on 16 and 17. And so it was like, I was expecting Taylor Pendrith to be losing by 2 or 3 shots going to the last hole. Turns out he's only losing by 1. Ben Coles rolls in a nice 20-footer on 17 to take a 1-shot lead going to a very reachable par 5 18th hole, 540 yards, something like that. Both guys hit drives in play. And Ben Coles, with a 1-shot lead and about a 30-yard chip short of the green, goes full Kyle Lang to find himself taking 4 more shots to get it in the hole and losing in regulation to Taylor Pendrith's 2-putt birdie on 18. Kyle, thoughts on the shot tracer?
Yeah, I didn't see it live as we were texting about, but the shot tracer looked real fun, an adventure, if you will. I did see this, to your point about Pendrith and how he usually gets it done, that he had the best short game week of his career. He gained 7.88 strokes around the green and with the putter, according to Rick Rungood, and actually lost 1.62 strokes on approach on Sunday. So I would be curious what the odds were. Did you happen to glance down the stretch? Because it sure looks like our boy UVA, Mr. Ben Cole's rare Rainmakers card just vomited it away.
And especially after, I don't know if you saw any of the Twitter videos of him limbering up before his round. Did you see these?
No.
This is like Miguel Angel Jimenez-esque. The way how flexible this dude is. You have to go find that. Well, maybe we'll retweet it. He seemed loose. That's all I can say. He seemed loose, and all of a sudden, I guess he finds himself with a 1-shot lead and basically needed to get down in 3 from 30 yards, and wasn't even close. So bummer for your guy Ben Coles. Total choke job, and Taylor Pendrith comes away with the win. The other thought that I had, I did not follow up on this. I think I sent a text. They showed a bit. Now, I pointed out to you guys that I was going to play a lineup. This is a long way to get to this point. I was going to play a lineup that included 6 Kims. There's 6 Kims in the field. And at the last minute, I decided I couldn't leave $3,500 on the table and play the British amateur phenom Chris Kim. So I didn't. I took him out of my lineup and I played Tom Hoagie in his place. Chris Kim ends up making the cut. And they show this clip that says that of the youngest players to make a cut in the PGA Tour. And on that list was Jordan Spieth at the Byron Nelson in 2010. And it called it the CJ Byron Nelson, the 2010 CJ Byron Nelson. Do new title sponsors get the rights to all past tournaments when they're shown in graphics? Do you know?
I think we would have to ask the RTG lawyer to investigate that for us.
It just seems odd. Like, I mean, I guess they probably don't want to give like AT&T free advertising, but like definitely wasn't the 2010 CJ Cup. But
why didn't they just drop the sponsor, right? Just call it the Byron Nelson.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seemed very strange. So I was like, I'm pretty sure Jordan Spieth did not play in this event, but whatever. Other thoughts?
Well, you kind of led up to this there, Mike. You didn't want to leave $3,600 on the table. You know what the optimal was last week? $46,500.
Oh,
So
really? Well, it had to be. There was no star power in the
$3,500 left on the table. Alex Noren was part of it. We were on Alex Noren. He was the reason it was a successful week for me. But that's about all we got right.
Yeah. Well, certainly a shout out on the RTG side, Listener League. Ness 0163 back-to-back wins. I didn't even have to change the standings. I don't know how this guy does it. Jordan, you'll have to find out tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna jam a pickleball down his throat.
JYATD getting second, and I'll somehow pronounce this Random G12 Enegade gets third place. Kyle, like you said, not a lot right in the RTG model this week. It happens. We had a couple of huge landmines. What's funny is because we had really our top play share percentage wise, Peter Quest. Our top power index play, Jordan Spieth. Typically, I go back and listen to segments of the show the previous week as a part of prep, and the first two players we commented on out of the gate in the player preview were Peter Quest. He was too expensive, had no form, and Jordan Spieth couldn't keep up in a birdie fest. Didn't want a part of either of those guys, and yet I put both in my only single entry lineup and flamed out. So, shame on me.
Listen to yourself, Mike. Come on, give yourself a little bit more credit.
I know I should listen to my advice rather than following our model of aggregated expert advice, but it is what it is. Off week this week.
It's lineup selection, contest selection, right? It depends where you're going. Maybe the single entry. That's the spot to pivot a little bit.
Yeah, I love Spieth at 9%. That was a great play. He just sucked. But anyways, you said Taylor Pendrith. Taylor Pendrith minus 23 gets the win. Our top contributing expert content creator of the week, Zach Bussier over at FanDuel, led by Pix Noren, Justin Lauer, Adam Shank, and a few others. Gutsiest play, Spencer Aguiar at Rotoballer had Matt Wallace, the only one with Matt Wallace. Spencer's actually been on quite a bit of a decent run here from an overall content perspective, so I definitely recommend checking out his picks as we head into both a signature event, the Wells Fargo and the PGA Championship. Other landmines, Sung Jae. You guys get burned by Sung Jae? Withdrew before after lock before his tee time? No.
No Sung Jae.
Some people did. I'm sure Chad, who's a big Sung Jae fan, Chad Eckert over at Fantasy Golf Pod, I'm sure that burned him a little bit. Jordan, speeding through this, you got a one and done update?
Yeah. No big money going out last week. 3 guys had Alex Noren and picked up 655,000. And then a few Ben Ons for 380. So no major movement year to date. Stogie still winning at 10.6 million, followed by yours truly at 8.4, and then last year's winner at 7.7. Mike, you're in the thick of it.
I'm in the 7.2.
Kyle, you're even top half now, so that's a good start. It's not really anyone's game, but it just involves getting a winner in a signature event or a major to catch up or take the lead.
It's going to be a big week. I was up there farther, Jordan. I've slid back a little bit the last 3. So I'm coming though, right here this week.
Right. Last thing I'll say on the CJ Cup, Kyle, you should feel real good about your Survivor Reloaded advice last week. You had a player pool of 5. I think it was Jaeger, Noren, Mitchell, Hoagie, and I'm blanking on the 5th. Siwoo. All 5 players made the cut, I believe. And so I went Noren Jaeger. That was a good move. And I think we're down to about 30 teams or 30 entries left in Reloaded. So off week this week because there's no cut at the Wells Fargo. And so then it'll be PGA Championship. That'll be a fun one. All right. The Wells Fargo at Quail Hollow. We get a no-cut signature event. Charlotte, North Carolina, Kyle, this golf course gets plenty of attention on the PGA Tour because we have the Wells Fargo here every year, and then occasionally we get things like the PGA Championship and the Ryder Cup. I'm not super jazzed by the course. I think the players it's generally a good test. It certainly can accommodate this level of play, but it's becoming a bit of a snooze with these no cut signature events. So what do you got? What are you looking for this week?
Yeah, don't love the no cut element as we've talked about at length. But we do have a big boy course, so that's kind of fun. 7,500 pushing 7,600 yards. 10 under to 19 under has won when it has been here in the past. And one note on that is make sure when you're looking at data for Wells Fargo, you are looking at data from Qual Hollow. As Mike mentioned, it's held other events the last couple of years. So they've, in the years of the President's Cup and the PGA, the Wells Fargo has played elsewhere. So make sure you don't let that mess up your data. But it's all about bogey avoidance this week. 3 of the last 4 holes on the course, so 3 of the 4 hardest holes on the course, 16, 17, 18, are AKA the Green Mile. So it's really tough finishing down the stretch. There's a lot of good mix of risk and reward holes. There's a tree line. There's a good amount of water. You're really looking for guys that carry distance, both good drives and distance off the tee, and the long approaches. It's above average from approach distance for 150 to 175, 175 to 200, and 200. So it's really skews towards those longer approaches. And historically, when you look at some of the courses like Rory, that makes sense. One guys that can bomb it.
My understanding is that nobody good is actually playing in this event. Is that your understanding?
I mean, because we're missing the golfer.
We're missing
Has a baby
the golfer.
come out yet or no?
No,
who knows?
So
is that why he's not playing? Is that why he's not playing?
I mean, I'd presumed. I didn't go stalking Instagrams and stuff, but
would have thought it would have come out. But no Scotty this week, no Ludwig. So as far as I can tell, we got to. I mean, I'll let you spin the top of the model here, but I think there's just an absolute lock when it comes to signature events if Scotty's not playing. So what do we got, Kyle?
Well, leading the way, I think probably 2 of the guys that are going to lead the conversation, right? Rory McIlroy and Wyndham Clark, 40% mention share for each. So far, MPI is leaning Rory, but we still have quite a few to come in. The next grouping of guys, we have Tony Finau, Willie Z, and Xander, 34% mention share. Finau and Xander, really strongly liked by the MPs so far. So I'll talk about a couple of guys there because they were some of the guys I had written down. Mike, I'm guessing you're alluding to Mr. Wyndham Clark. I mean, hey, we have an event without Scotty, right? And 10.5, so that's $1,300 cheaper than Rory.
Incredible.
And guess what? Steal. And he won here last year. So I'm in on Wyndham. I'm in on Wyndham. Spencer is as well. And Hans Grievers also highlighted him this week. So I think he's going to be leading the way for me at 10.5. I'm also intrigued by a $7,900 Will Zalatoris. Yes, he had the issues last week that made him pull out, and the putter is still as wonky as ever. But at $7,900, I think there's worse places you could go from a GPP style contest. Don't get me wrong, I'm not playing him in cash, but GPP, I'm in.
Good stuff. I agree with you on Wyndham Clark. I feel like where his game is at right now, put him on a golf course where he's won, put him on a big boy golf course, a big boy tournament in a field without Scotty Scheffler, and then give him a $1,300 discount off of Rory McIlroy. Absolute shoo-in. But it is fair to say that you are looking at Rory McIlroy, who has 3 wins on this golf course, 1, 2, 3, 4 other top 10s, and one miscut going all the way back to 2011. So I know we're not dealing with that this week, but he's played really, really well here. And Rory, obviously coming off the win at the Zurich, we know he's been playing better. His approach and off the tee has been great. Ball striking is what gets it done on difficult golf courses. He's been on quite the run. So I also don't have an issue spending up at 11-8 and playing Rory this week, just given his form here. But I think I'm going to be heavy on Wyndham, like yourself, and I don't know. I'll find someone to play Rory, probably Rainmakers or something like that. Jordan, what else? What else do you like? Quail Hollow or?
I agree with your take on Rory. Sorry, I started talking. I was on mute. Amateur hour. But yeah, especially just looking at Rick Rungun's ownership right now, if you're getting 9-10% less ownership to go to Clark, I think of most of the contests, I like that move. So, go ahead, Jordan.
Nice. I'm going with some of my cheap plays for the week. Kurt Kitayama only missed one cut all season. I know this is a no cut event, guys. I know.
You always love highlighting the cuts made and no cut.
I didn't let that happen, but that means he's playing good, right? That means he's top to the 30. I think most of his rounds ended up top 35, most of his events. And the other one, and he's got 2 mentions, so it's not like he's getting no love. The other one is Matthew Pivan, who's also been playing well, and the 2 guys are 6,800 and 6,500. It's easy to get Wyndham Clark and another stud and still get 2 more guys that have been playing really well at that price.
I'm with you on Pavan. Just Mr. Consistent this year for the most part, and has the ability to really spike with a putter. So I don't mind that play for going down to 6,500. My cheaper guy I have my eye on so far is Adam Scott. He's only 7,700. We talked about him last week. He was T5 here last year, has a 3rd and 8th in the past. When we really kind of talked through the course, and we talked about Adam Scott last week from this perspective, is we like him on hard courses. We like him in challenges and tough events. And he's also played here in the President's Cup as well. So just has that extra element of experience. So I think $7,700, I'm in.
Where are you guys at on nap time? $6,500. We get a guy that finished 8th last week on a course that, frankly, Kyle, the comps Mexico pretty well at Craig Ranch, and Knapp shows up, did nothing on Sunday. I mean, I thought he was going to be in the mix there down the stretch on Sunday, and he did very little, but very strong on approach so far, and is really all this season. We know that he has an absolute chance to be double digits on approach, and plenty of length to this golf course. My big concern there, $6,500, certainly take the flyer. No experience here, and so he's sort of playing out of his kind of above his above his experience level at this point. But sometimes that sort of like rookie naivete can help here. I don't know. Nap might be a flyer for me.
It's all of it's like his last 6 rounds are 57th, 45th cut, 55th, 62nd, and then 8th. Like big time flyer. Looks like he's struggling a lot on some of the harder courses, but still making cuts. Which again, actually, it was Arnold Palmer elevated also, so he hasn't actually.
Yeah, that one does have as a small cut. Yeah.
So he's finishing in the bottom 10% of all of the events that are no.
That was going to be my question. How is he done in the elevated? I think I'm probably out on Nap.
Okay.
If I really had to go down, and I wasn't as much, but what about Nick Taylor? He's down in the low 6s as well. He is not even getting highlighted on the sheet yet, but somebody I thought about maybe this week, keeping my eye on when you're only paying $6,200 for a guy.
That's crazy for a winner this year. Yeah,
a winner this year. If you're really searching,
A couple of other names I want to throw out of just that are charting out on our side. So the only other kind of top echelon power index players that hit the gala, 86 on the power index, $9,100, has one previous finish here, T56 last year, coming off a second at the RBC Heritage and then cut with Willie Z at the RBC. You know, Sahith, I'm curious where the ownership's going to come in there. Roll the dice with him. I'm not seeing much kind of in the stat profile recently that would convince me that he's a play here, but maybe fit him in a contrarian lineup or something like that.
What about Mr. Where he be now? Tony
That's
Finau?
all you, Jordan. I have not heard that take.
Yeah. What was that?
You're going
Tony
back.
Finau, where he be now?
Where he be now? Yeah, huh, that's a new one.
That is a new one. You must have heard that somewhere. Tony. So I mean, there's really two other guys here to discuss, and we look at the power index. We set Sahith at 86. Finau right now taking down the top spot in the power index and going to be followed by Xander Schauffele. So Tony's obviously having a good year this year. Middling experience form at this or course history here. 23rd last year, cut 60th, 21st, 44th, 28th, 16th. I don't know. You guys betting Tony Finau in general? Do you ever trust him? I'm happy to be burned by Tony Finau. I'm never early.
I used to, and now I never anymore.
I'm with you there. Yeah, what I had written down is 7, 8 made cuts here, but the best finish 16th at Cole Hollow. Andy Lack is on him, Landon Selinsky's on him, who have had some decent contributions to us this year, but yeah, I'm not a Finau guy, and especially when he lost 6 strokes putting at the Masters, 3.5 at Houston when he still finished T2. Yeah. I'll keep an eye on it, maybe go a little bit. I'm not going overweight, that's for sure.
So it kind of comes back to, you got 3 guys right now on Tuesday night in the top 5 in the model above 10K, Rory, Wyndham, and then Xander at 11.5, who we haven't really talked about. But again, you're not going to be surprised Xander finishes top 10 this week. But I just think if you're going to get an ownership break with Wyndham, and you're going to save $1,000 against Xander and $1,300 against Rory, it doesn't even seem like a question to me.
I think we have a consensus.
All right. With that, Kyle, you took care of the honors for name game this week, I think. As you cleaned up last week at the CJ Cup, we had the CJ and Kim, I believe, was the game. And let me go back here and check. I was not given instruction not to look, but Kyle, the CJ Kim 2 team took it down. Chesson Hadley, Justin Lauer, and Siwoo Kim. So congrats there.
Wait,
I was all in on
Justin Lauer.
Yes.
Not Lower.
What?
Correct.
Why did these people make up how their names are pronounced?
I think you guys should avoid the tab though for name game. It's just more
I'm
fun.
not looking.
Like then be like, Kyle. Let's call you Kyle Ling. Even
Well,
it's not
that's
I,
kinda how it
but
looks,
let's call it. Let's just make up how we pronounce your name.
Anyways, so Kyle, congrats.
Week,
you have moved into a tie for the lead. I have 6 victories on the year. You have 6 victories. The listeners have cleaned up 5, and Jordan is sitting back with 1. So what do we got this week?
Well, this week, we've had some great themes recently. I feel like we're on a good stretch of name games here, but we haven't had a good geography-based one, which is always kind of near and dear to my heart. So, I was just looking up Qual Hollow on Google Maps, as one does, cruising around the area. And I noticed the 3 surrounding neighborhoods are called Cameron Wood, Beverly Woods, and Sharon Woods. So I had to figure out a way to incorporate that into a name game, especially because, of course, we have some Camerons playing this week. So
I'm sorry,
our
did you
3-man teams
Did
have
you just say that it's called Sharon Woods?
Sharon Woods, Beverly
Like
Woods, and Cameron Wood.
like
Cameron just has Wood. He's not Woods.
Sharing Sharing Woods?
Sharon.
Oh, Sharon the name. Shoot.
Yes. So we have our 3-man teams with there's someone that name starts with C. Yes, there might be 2 Camerons involved. Someone's name starts with a B, and then someone's name starts with an S for Beverly and Sharon. But as we have had the last couple weeks, I went the nickname route. So if we want to do this blind by nickname, we can. Otherwise, you can look too. But the nickname.
I'm happy to play along.
All right, team 1 is team Cam Kigala. Bet you can't guess who's on that team. But they're 22,400. Team 2 is Cam Hanauer at 23,100. Team 3 is Can Todson at 22,600. And team 4 is Con Loita at 22,900.
Why do you do this to yourself?
I figured you guys would enjoy that.
I did enjoy that. I get to pick first, I think. Team 2, please. I'd like you to say it again.
Cam Hanauer. That is Cameron Young, Benny On, and Seamus Power. So Cam Hanauer.
Okay.
Who's next here?
I think it's the listeners.
The listeners.
Yep. Yeah.
So your options are Cam Kigala, or Can Hodson, or Con Loita. Loitawa.
Team 1 for the listeners.
Cam Kigala is Cameron Davis, Keegan Bradley, and Sahid Thigala.
And Jordan, you're up next. You have, I'm still trying to figure out how we got here, but go ahead.
Which
Kyle,
one?
He's 2 options left.
Which one do you not? Can Todson or Con Lo Tia?
Kyle, I'll let you pick before me because I think I might have better luck not picking.
Well, you can have it Con Lotia. I think I said that last one different every time I said it. So that is Corey.
Who's the low in that?
Shane Lowry.
Oh, Lowry. I was hoping it was Justin Lower.
Justin Lauer.
You pronounced it, and then you pronounced it wrong.
It is Corey Connors, Akshay Bhatia, and Shane Lowry.
All right.
So that leaves me Can Todson, which is Patrick Cantlay. So Can, Brendan Todd, and Adam Svensson. I'm really strong at the top. I don't love the back end of my lineup there.
Anything can happen. You brought up Woods.
I thought you were always a back end guy.
Oh my God. You brought up Woods. As we close the show out, I wanted to call attention to social media darling of the NFL draft, Keon Coleman. Have you guys seen some of his stuff? Have you guys seen some of his interviews?
It's great.
The one you sent, I haven't seen a ton beyond that. The golf one.
He is
been a ton.
He is just comedy gold. He's great. He is comedy gold. He just owns the room. The dude is just himself. He is so funny. And you brought up Woods, and they asked him, he talked about his golf game. And he was like, I like to play golf. I like to bowl. I like to hang out. And they're like, oh, how's your golf game? And he's like, well, I ain't Tiger Woods. I'm more, I'm Tiger Wish I could. And I'm just like, I just thought this dude, check him out. He's got, I hope they find a way, the PGA Tour finds a way to get some of his content on the golf course, because he's great.
It was good. Yeah. It was,
Kyle, you'll appreciate. Kyle, check out the rest of it. There's some
There's some good ones, really good ones out there about him. The NFL and the Bills are pimping him out already as the face of the draft because he is entertaining.
So can we talk about what's happening here? Did Jordan leave in person?
Oh,
and
I'm
was
in
talking
the
to us in the
car on the way to pickleball.
Yeah, he's
I'll
going to
play
pickleball.
I'll
We got to
keep
let
playing
him
my
go.
match. No, I'll be
We gotta
AirPods in while playing the match.
We'll close it out. We'll let Jordan go pickle. We'll let Jordan go pickle. Of course, you could follow us all week long on Twitter at RTG Podcast DFS for content on the Wells Fargo Championship. Follow us on YouTube, Reading the Green, and any major podcast platform. We'll be back in a week with the results of the Wells Fargo and look ahead to the first non-Astros major of the year, the PGA Championship at Valhalla. See ya.